diggity, diggity dog. Breaking, diggity, diggity dog. Shark. Breaking. Diggity, diggity dog.
Hello and welcome to the T40's podcast. This is episode 49, and I'm Ryan.
I'm Benson.
I'm Alex.
About to go over the hill, guys. I'm Michael. Because 50 is the new 40. And 40 is the new 20.
Okay, shut up.
Fuck are you talking
Still
about?
talking.
We got a good show for you. We're going to listen to some voicemails, read some emails. Benson is going to talk about Yahoo News, I think. Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Yahoo
I was going
News.
to talk about movie crossovers. We're going to do our top 5, and that should be good.
Beer of the week.
Oh, yeah, beer of the week.
Beer of the week, and also we're going to talk about movies this week,
Well,
actually.
yeah, we
Well,
always talk
that's a
about
lot of
movies.
my segments. So.
Anyway, if you got anything to tell us, you can write an email to podcast@tipping40s.com or call us on our Google Voice number, which is 218-666-8407. So, Alex, you got some emails?
I got some emails.
Ooh.
First one from James. Hi. Hey,
Hello.
guys. Just wanted to say that I go to the cinema. Oh, okay, he goes to the cinema.
Ah, the movie theatricals.
Yeah, he goes to the cinema on my own sometimes. Half of my friends think I'm weird. The rest think I'm really brave.
Brave?
What
I
the
don't know
fuck?
if Brave's the right one, for sure.
Neither of those is correct.
Anyways, keep it up. You're awesome.
Thanks.
Okay.
I don't know if being brave has anything
No,
to
it's
do
not.
with it.
If
If
you're
your
going to get, like,
friends,
assaulted or something?
well, it's not him. Obviously, that's the problem. It's
Yeah, I
that
know.
his friends are pussies.
No,
but
the only way you're brave is if you're going there to pick up girls.
the
Hey, you
movie
liking
theater-
this movie?
Shut the fuck up! My popcorn's got extra butter.
You know what you are? You know, it's more likely that if you're going to the movie theater by yourself, the best adjective to describe you would be bored. That would be not at the movies.
What about
before
loner?
Brave.
Loner? Fuck that. Not
Loner.
James
Lone
Dean.
wolf.
I see the people that say they're brave are the people that have to go eat on their own or go on that website to eat with someone else. Is what I meant to say. So yeah. Next email from Jordan, talking about the Olympics. So you guys were talking about how boring you thought the Olympics were. You would have hated the medals awarded to the different arts in the early 1900s.
Oh God.
He has a link of them. He's like, here's a link of a pretty huge list of all the different medals awarded for art, but he lists some of the examples. Like, just to point out a few extra weird ones. Town planning. You win a medal for good town planning.
Town planning award.
Epic works under the literature category. So,
That's good.
Tolkien, I guess.
Ulysses,
Just wins that all the time.
And of course, the best award, the J.D. Power and Associates.
That's mid-sized sedan.
And one of them is merit for aeronautics. And then he says, and a merit for alpinism, so mountain climbing.
That's actually the most legit
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I know.
That one's because if you climb a mountain,
Merit for aeronautics, this
I'd
is...
give
But
you
that's
an
still
award.
not like a competition.
That's not a
doing
competition.
it. Yeah, I know.
Either you climbed it or you didn't. There's not really.
I don't know if it's kind of sporting, but I guess in the early 1900s when airplanes were just starting to be invented and shit. So, I mean, I guess you should get an award for potentially killing
not
yourself.
an Olympics gold medal.
Well, no, it's not anything athletic, but...
And then he says, and a merit, or what's funny is the first person to really campaign to bring the Olympics back was a huge proponent about medals for the arts. The dude did it partly so he could win a gold medal in literature, which he did in 1912 for his poem titled "Ode to Sport."
Ode
just-
to sport.
Ode to
That's
sports.
great though. He just wanted to bring him back so that he could.
He called it "Ode to Sport" too. So
Yeah, I
it's
I know,
like,
it's the
oh.
lamest. It's the lamest. Like, that's what a fourth grader would write.
Yeah, that's ode to shill
And it's a
right
sport to
there.
the Olympics. Talking about probably about the Olympics in the poem.
Oh.
Like
Ode to
sports.
sport.
I mean, people love these sports.
Sports are competitive and they're great. The end.
He says the podcast is consistently good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sure.
We'll let you down this
This
episode.
one's longer. This one's from Steve. Hey guys, really like the movie overview and top 5 picks, and I agree a Monsanto segment would be great.
You
I'm
have to
curious.
tag team that.
Yeah.
That's a lot to cover.
Yes.
I'm curious about the friend Benson mentioned who became a welder. What exactly was wrong with him that he wouldn't be able to hold a normal job but was functional enough to do welding?
It's not that he was not capable of holding a normal job. He just obviously, well, one, like I said, I don't know if he was technically retarded, but he was definitely slow. Like, and I don't mean like just not intelligent. Like he had a mental problem. There was a problem with his mental faculties. And then the other thing too is that he had a very, very, very short attention span. So, and I think maybe he just enjoyed welding so much that it became something that could keep his attention, unlike a lot of other things.
Hey, Forrest Gump ran a shrimp boat, so...
Well, he is a real person, so...
Yeah, he is.
He has a restaurant.
So no, I mean, if you want me to diagnose the guy, then no, because I have no clue. But he wasn't a bad guy. He was actually really nice. He just was not, all there. So
he says, "Do you think that with the increasing rates of autism, that trade schools and classes should get more emphasis?"
Oh, you know
think,
what?
yes.
Autism for autistic people, trades would be great.
I think.
Yes.
I think beyond that, I think
just make them into savants here. I mean,
Yeah.
I think trade schools should get more attention.
Well, anyway,
regardless, because people are actually learning a skill that they can use in the working world, and they don't have to pay tens and tens of thousands of dollars to get
isn't it interesting that trade schools are subsidized by the state and they seem to work really well, but then colleges are not subsidized by the state for the most part?
But they seem to work
at all.
They seem to work really well, didn't you know? That
For the provost that's making $500,000 a year.
Everyone with a bachelor's degree is doing real great.
A
Right
couple, like a month back, I should have told you guys to put it in top 5, but Kate sent me an article that was said it was about this guy who didn't want to outsource. He was a software company and he was doing QA for software, and he was outsourcing the QA guys to like India or something like that. And he just didn't want to do that anymore. So instead, what he wanted to do was he wanted to hire autistic people and pay them less than normal anyways.
Oh, yeah, that's been
but because they have so much attention to detail and just the software and they can find whatever fucking errors they want. But he's still paying them way less than a normal QA would get because they're autistic and they just can't get a job anyway.
Yeah, there's been I remember seeing an article almost a year ago about this for QA testing for games and stuff, because these people, I don't know if they have autism, but maybe like Asperger's or something, like they're so focused, like detail focused, they make really good QA testers because they, they're able to do the same thing over and over.
But they're still doing the same job that someone else would better,
I mean, they
and they're
shouldn't
still
get
getting
paid
paid less.
Yeah, they shouldn't get paid
because they
less.
have no other choice.
But
You're really good at your job, but because you're kind of...
He's like, I'm doing a good thing because I'm not outsourcing it anymore. I'm getting autistic people a job. I mean, I guess that's good that you're getting autistic people a job, but still.
Group of people.
The thing about autistic people, and this is obviously a generalization, it's not true with all of them, but a lot of autistic people, when they find something they enjoy, they are able to focus on it for insane amount of time without losing interest in it, and that's why they're perfect for jobs like that. Yeah. But they should also be rewarded for being able to do that.
For being even better than normal.
If you're good at watching Judge Wapner or counting cards, you should be rewarded.
You should be rewarded for counting cards.
Yeah, I know. That should not be illegal.
No, it shouldn't.
It's your own fucking fault. Get more decks.
Play blackjack with a 50 deck.
Honestly.
He has more to say. He says, the fear of dining. I think there is something to restaurants frowning at the practice.
Fear?
Regarding.
Regarding.
He knows. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you continue.
Yeah, fuck you. I think there's something to restaurants frowning at the practice because you're taking up a table meant for 2, but giving half the tip. But I was more interested in the contrasting views Mike and Benson had. Benson basically said it's low self-esteem, whereas Mike argued it was rooted in vanity and ego. I'm so important that everybody in this place is staring at me. I think what Banduk said about talking yourself down to fight social anxiety is a good idea, and I'm going... Update came up on my phone. I'm going to fight social anxiety is a good idea. I'm going to try to implement that in my own life. In certain social situations where I tend to feel highly self-conscious, what situations did Mike have to confront, and was he eventually able to handle them on his own without the self-talk?
Well, I think it was the opposite. I was the one who said it was more of an egotism.
Yeah, I think it was.
You are someone who has experience with social anxiety, which makes you probably a better person to ask.
Before I learned to start talking myself down, I just didn't do anything.
Right.
I just would avoid most situations.
Socially.
But I still could fucking eat out by myself.
Were you like the guy from Pi where he has to look out his little peephole to see if anyone's outside so he can go out the door?
Yeah, I wasn't that bad.
I don't think you've ever put a drill in your head.
I gotta say, regarding the sitting at a 2-person table and providing half the tip that you wouldn't want...
No.
Fuck that. That is not an argument at all, because people all the time will come in a group of 3 and there's still an empty seat at their 4-person table.
I don't think that's...
And no one gets mad about that. That's not
tip based on the price of the meal, not
Yeah,
based on how many
I mean,
people
2 people can eat $18 and one guy can eat $40 by drinking or something. You should never
ever base the amount of people on whether they're worth serving or not. That's bullshit.
No, now the one thing about serving though, it is bullshit when people sit at a 6 top and there's like 3 people. Or 2.
Well, that is, but that's
like a big table, like a.
yeah.
I shouldn't say 6 top because that's.
There's a big difference between sitting at a 2-person table, which is the only thing available, and sitting at a table that's way bigger than your party. Then you're just being a dick. That's the difference.
I think it pisses me off is when you go to a fast food place, you go in there with like coworkers for lunch with 4 of you, and then there's the guy sits by himself at the 4-person table, and there's no more 4-person tables. There's tons of 2-person ones.
Yeah,
like,
that's
fuck asshole.
That does happen a lot, and
I tell them to move.
If I go by myself, well, yeah, I would too. But when I go by myself, I sit at a 2-person.
Yeah.
No reason, unless it's empty.
But,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, with the social anxiety, actually, the other day I said something stupid to somebody. I was trying to be polite, but it made no sense for me to even respond to what they did. Basically, a girl opened the door to like let air into the restaurant, and I was like, "Oh, thanks." I was like, "Why do I care?" And I started obsessing about it, and then Ellie started laughing at me, and I'm like, "You need to stop laughing right now because I'm starting to freak out." I was starting to freak out about it. Like
It just doesn't
weird.
make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I just was like, why the fuck did I say that to... I don't care. I have no... It was obviously awkward, and it was just horrible. Now I'm just... Never mind.
I think it's funny because you think it was awkward, but that girl probably didn't give a fuck at all.
No, she totally was like, that was a weird statement. Like, because she's like, yeah.
Well, the most awkward one of all those I do is like the whole Brian Regan thing where someone says something, you say, "Oh, you too," like, "Have a nice flight." You say, "Oh, you too." I'm like, "Oh, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're not flying anyway."
In case you ever fly.
Well, that's just you being in, like, trying to be cordial.
You're already preparing what you're going to say because you think they're going to say, "Oh, I'll miss you, bye," and you say, "I'll miss you too," but they say something else. It's like, "Oh, fuck."
Well, that's like when someone says, "Hey, what's up?" and you say, "Good." That happens a lot to me.
Honestly,
I assume they're going to say, "How's it going?" and they don't.
The other situation that happens almost every day is we are at the very end of a hall at an office suite, and the bathroom's in the center. And I cannot explain to you how horrible it is when someone's walking like 30, 40 yards away from you, and you're coming towards them because it's too much time. You know, if you just run into them...
You could never work where I work because there are literally 800-foot hallways where that happens.
Yeah, that would drive
Are
me
you
nuts.
afraid that, like, they're going to pull out a mat and then try to, like, American Gladiator?
No, it's nothing like that. No, it's purely a...
You just don't know what to stare at or where to look, right?
That's one thing. Also, it's just...
But this is another one of those situations I'm talking about, which is the other person doesn't give a fuck at all. You're the only one who cares.
No, I'm just giving a fuck about myself and how I'm going to respond or be courteous to this person. I'm like,
but they don't give a shit about
just walk past them.
They really don't care about you.
Sometimes I do.
Maybe they think the same as you, so you have nothing to worry
No,
about.
they
too.
do. Yeah. They totally do. Because people are just like, oh, like, it's the worst. It is.
Who are these people? Who are these people?
Next time this happens to you and the guy's coming at your wall, you gotta stop,
I actually
turn
brought
to
it
your
up-
right, and just stare at the wall until he passes you.
it was kind of nice.
Just stare into the
Do you
wall.
ever just, when that happens, do you ever just take an extra turn somewhere and go around
No,
them?
there is no extra turn. It's just one hall.
Would you?
No. Oh, would I? No. I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Because they know I work in that office. I mean, you run into the same
right.
people all the time.
That's how it is for me, too.
Yes, but see, and the thing is, though, you work with people you know, right? Or
No, there's
Oh,
tons of people
God.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you know this. I don't know. I ask people at my work who definitely don't have any social anxiety, and they hate it too. They fucking hate it. They're
Well,
like, it's too long.
That happens to me if I'm walking down the street. That's what I feel that way sometimes. Or if I'm walking like across a crosswalk because everyone in their car is staring at you, it's like,
It
whatever.
still doesn't bother me. I don't care. You know what you should do? You should literally stare them straight in the eye the entire way
that would
down.
make me go crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You get, like,
You
horse
should both do it to each other.
Yeah. I just, it's funny though. You can tell people get around it by acting like they're doing something.
Yeah, they pull out their phone around, they come
I
next
do
to you.
too, but I look at what they're doing on their phone. They're never doing anything.
It's kind of
great.
yeah,
it's fucking awesome. I'm
People
like,
use their
these people-
phone as like a crutch when things get awkward.
I
It's
hate
like,
that.
You're my phone now.
I hate that.
Anyways, we got.
I just go,
voicemails.
yo, what up? And they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah, we haven't even
So-
done voicemails yet. We're 15 minutes in.
Well,
14.
we needed to pad this episode, so it's working.
Yeah, we've done it. All right, here we go.
Too inside baseball.
Here's a voicemail.
Cox talk in the morning, cock talk in the evening, cock talk at supper time. When Cox is your provider, you can eat Cox cock anytime.
Thank you.
This public service announcement brought to you by Dr. Grabowski.
So, your friend in digital age, thank you.
Yeah, I think they should get this guy to do his jingles because all their jingles suck.
Cox,
This,
cock.
of course, being a reference to our shitty internet that goes down every 5 minutes.
But you
when
got
we do
that
a
fixed,
stream.
right?
Yeah,
And,
But it's
and
now been
bagel bites.
fixed. This is literally the first time
Yeah.
we're going to stream after it's been fixed. So, and then it'll go down
Yeah,
within
of
5
course.
minutes.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk could be proud of that ad.
So, thanks for whatever that was. No, here's the other
Hey,
ones.
T40's. My name is John. You guys seem to have a pretty big affinity for Mighty Ducks 2, and with good reason. It is the Seven Samurai for a new generation. And I was wondering if you guys had any other examples of sequels that you thought were better than the original. Thanks for the content, and keep it up.
Thank
Good
you.
voicemail. That's how long.
Empire.
That's good. Yeah, that's exactly the perfect length right there. Sequels that are better than the original. Well, the easiest one is Spider-Man 2, which is way better than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
I always
Empire.
I always think of Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is way better than Terminator.
2
yeah.
is
Ridiculous.
so much
Infinitely better,
better.
yeah.
I'm going to address the elephant in the room and say Weekend at Bernie's too.
Weekend at Bernie's 2 is way better in the right way. If you
if you look at it a certain way. Yes.
The only movie I see that like a lot of like publications and reviewers say is way better than the first one's like the consensus sequel is better. And people say Toy Story 2.
I
No.
totally disagree
Toy
with
Story
that.
2 is the worst Toy Story.
I don't think it's I don't know if it's actually I don't know. They're all good, so I don't think it's bad. But I love the first one so much that it's nowhere near as good.
I like
3
one
is
way
still
better.
3 is
Yeah.
still better than 2. 3 is still better than 2. 2
I don't
is
know.
not very good.
People love the second one for some reason. But
don't know why.
First
The-
one's awesome.
I think the thing about 2 that was impressive was the situation surrounding the making of it, which is that was amazing that they were able to pull it off. But in terms of the movie, no, it's not as good as 1. I don't think.
Just when
I
you
don't
first
think it
watch
is at
one,
all.
you're like, these toys are alive now. What the hell's going on? It's like, oh, this is awesome. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it's not.
also,
as good as the
Lost
first
World
one.
is no, just kidding.
Well,
Lost World. Yeah.
No, obviously it's Temple of Doom.
Oh,
But
Temple
let's
of
talk
Doom are the
about.
worst sequels.
Let's touch on that for a second. What are the worst sequels?
I think Temple of Doom's
Doom is
up there.
high up there.
I mean, because you
because
got.
Last Crusade is so much better.
I mean,
Well, no,
you
I'm
could say
talking about-
Fantastic Four too.
No,
but
that's what I'm saying.
it's
I'm saying the
different.
worst sequels to a really, really good
Yeah.
movie.
do they have to be like
Temple of
theatrically
Doom's
released?
Yes.
and
Otherwise,
we're
it
only
doesn't
talking
work.
about the second one, right? Because once you get to
Yeah, it's gotta be the second.
Yeah,
It's
just
gotta be
the
the second.
second, right? Because then Star Wars will win
This
always.
actually, amazingly, Weekend at Bernie's 2 maybe falls into both categories.
Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's isn't especially good, but if you watch it, it's totally watchable.
Yeah.
And you watch the second one,
yeah, it
Whoa.
jumps some weird movie shark. It's,
dude, it doesn't even make sense. The
Yeah.
movie is not even the same series, almost. It's so insane.
I think Pirates of the Caribbean sequels are super fucking bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
they're
right.
terrible.
The second one.
The third one is. Oh,
I didn't like the first one, very unpopular opinion, but the second one, I was like, oh my fucking god! But you know, what? I was so happy. I was so happy because people started seeing the problems I saw in the first one, almost the exact same problems. They're like,
but then the third
Sparrow
one,
guy's kinda
but the third one was
ridiculous.
twice as bad, and the fourth one still made money. So
yeah, I heard the fourth one was pretty much unwatchable.
I don't even know.
Yeah, there's some bad sequels.
thanks for the voicemails and emails. Moving on to beer of the week. We got Peroni's Lager. It's a good summer beer. I was drinking it yesterday while swimming.
That's Italian.
Yeah,
What kind of beer is that?
It was
The Euro
fucking
Pale Lager.
hot.
It's in the same category as like Kronenberg. So
Yeah, it's
It wasn't that hot yesterday. Actually.
extremely light, very easy to drink. It was hot to begin with, and then it cooled down.
Yeah, we jumped in the pool and the sun went away, and then we got out of the pool and the sun came back.
Yeah, it was
like
fucking
fuck
bullshit.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
that
God.
was lame.
Fuck you, clouds.
So
Yeah, Peroni's not bad. How much alcohol?
5.1.
It's pretty.
That's actually not bad
It's
for
Italian,
a light
right?
lager.
Yeah. You can get like a 12 pack. I think it was like $8 or whatever. It's
A
pretty.
lot
cheap,
of those,
so.
a lot of those ones
It's
have
not
like
eight,
closer
it's
to
like
4.
10 or 11, something like
Okay,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that cheap.
It's not fucking high life.
Yeah.
Between that and Kronenberg, which would you drink?
They're the same.
I personally, I like the taste of Peroni a little better.
I think
but
I think Peroni's a little bit drier.
it is.
Yeah. I like both.
I was just,
They're good summer
I was
beers.
just wondering.
Okay. So Yahoo News. Let's go.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Yahoo News.
Okay, it's done. We're done. There we go.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, we'll have some fun here. So, of course, everyone's heard of Yahoo. Yahoo.
No, I haven't.
So first of all, does anyone read Yahoo News regularly?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
Absolutely, I do.
I
You know
don't.
why? Because you don't even know how many top fives I found on there. All the time,
Yeah.
I find top fives.
Okay,
on
so would you say that you read Yahoo News, or that it would be more appropriate to say that you're reading Yahoo? Because, like, say, calling it Yahoo News is almost
a disservice to news.
It's even insulting.
I'm going to talk about Yahoo News and how it became this, though.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's why I'm doing
When
this.
I'm feeling down, I definitely read some Yahoo News.
So,
and I feel much better.
Everyone knows.
I get really angry.
Everyone knows about Yahoo, which of course was one of the first of the web giants in the mid to late '90s during the bubble, and by now it's dropped off the map quite a bit, but it still is. It still has a pretty decent market share. You'd be surprised, but
yeah,
with how stupid and poorly run the company is, you could say it's pretty easy to do a full segment on Yahoo if I wanted to. But I wanted to focus on
one
Yahoo.
of the worst ran companies ever.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I wanted to focus on Yahoo News, and there's a reason for this. Yahoo News has undergone maybe the biggest transition from when it started to now out of any news source I've ever seen, because it's completely different. So, why would I want to discuss Yahoo News? Well, there's one very simple reason, which is it's maybe the funniest website ever made. It is so funny.
I think it should be... I think if you gave it the URL, why am I clicking on this.com, that would be about as descriptive as Yahoo News. Actually, more.
That's what you say with every story.
Dude, you click on something, then you start reading it. Why the fuck am I reading this? Why I'm the problem.
You see the time and you're
problem.
like, I cannot not read this right now. I have to. What is this about?
Well, as you know, not you, as our listeners know, we at T40's absolutely hate the media. We despise them. So we particularly hate news organizations, which is why we can't stand CNN, Fox News, ABC, MSNBC, and all the other ones, all those major news sites. We hate them.
Yeah.
But the reason that Yahoo News is great is because the entire website feels like it's a joke. It feels like they're playing a prank on you. But this prank has been updated for years, and they change it
tons of people read it every day.
And so let's go into a little backstory before we discuss Yahoo News, and that's why I want to talk about how it became what it is now. It's going to be real short. So
it was an accident.
Around the time that the dot-com bubble burst, which was, of course, in 2000, 2001, Yahoo stocks went from $118.75 a share, and this was on January 3rd, 2000, to, on September 26, 2001, so this was a year and 9 months, $4.05 a share.
A little bit of a drop.
Wow.
Yes. Now, to be fair, Yahoo News was never really a reputable news source, but what it was more like an aggregator. Like they would collect articles from bigger news.
It's more like MSN's website.
And to be fair,
like Google News too is the same.
Yeah, to be fair, this isn't because they're completely shitty. It's also because the dot-com bubble burst. So
yes.
Well,
yeah.
No,
they were horribly overvalued.
Yeah.
No, I know, but also. Well, that's what I was saying is the bubble burst. This was only in a year and 9 months. This wasn't over the course of Yahoo getting worse. This was because of the bubble. But yeah, they were never known as a news source. They were more like an aggregator, which is fine if you pull good stories. And
if you're good,
for a time, they were fine. But what's changed in recent years, mainly because Yahoo's been beaten out in pretty much every field by Google now, like by a long shot, and they have a much lower market share than they did back then. This caused Yahoo to change its news site into something way more insane than it was before. And so what they've done in the past few years, and this is how Yahoo became what it is now, the Yahoo's news section, is they decided to focus on original news content.
Yeah.
This was their big plan, because Yahoo's Yahoo's goal isn't to be a search engine or a news site. It's to be like a web start. It's where you start your browsing. Yeah,
yes.
You go on there, and then from there you find the other stuff you want to visit.
By the way, this is the same approach AOL has decided to take, and they're doing great too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible idea because now with the web so robust and the ability to find anything really you can possibly imagine on the web, it's a bad idea to spread yourself thin. The sites that make money are the ones that are very, very specified in what they do. Like you go to Yelp, you don't go to Yelp to find the maps to get to places. You go to Yelp because you want to find new places to eat or something.
Yes.
Like these are all specific functions at these sites. But Yahoo doesn't do that.
Well, Yahoo has food sections.
They do. That's true.
Yeah. They also have MapQuest.
So you know, the thing is that even the reason that the original content thing completely changed Yahoo News is because even if a top story is making the rounds to every other news site, that won't necessarily be a top story on Yahoo. Usually there will be a mention of it, but their top stories are all original stories that they wrote. So if they didn't report on that specific thing, then it gets left out. And they've actually become so dedicated to doing this that they've hired like a bunch of experienced journalists in the past few years. And even earlier this year, like in February, they actually hired their first White House correspondent, which is really funny.
Well, it should be pointed out that they do have they are Associated Press, so they do AP stories. So that covers their bases for the other types of stories. They need to splurge those out. They need to.
So that's all I have about how they became what Yahoo News is today. But what you have to understand is that that's what killed them. Is they went, we're going to write original content, but they were already failing beforehand, so they thought that it might work. And honestly, it kind of does because
people can always relate to all the stories.
But they do have some respected journalists. They do. They're all in sports. Their Yahoo Sports is very well respected. Everything else is not.
That's true. Yeah.
Yahoo Finance. Oh.
Yahoo Finance is bad. So
I'm finding good sites while you talk about this.
Now, the reason I wanted to talk about Yahoo News, though, is because I figured the easiest way to show is just to go to Yahoo and to talk about the top stories that are on Yahoo right now.
We gotta point out, though, the way the top stories are aggregated for you, in the order they are, is based on your web cookies, basically. It looks
really?
at
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when it shows you dumb articles, it's basically saying, I know you're fucking dumb. You read Gawker, and I do read Gawker, and they go, you read stupid shit. I know. And so I'm going to give you even dumber shit.
So should I go here in like a private browsing tab to get like a completely...
Then there'll be like a default.
Yeah, go Google Incognito.
There's actually a lot of ethicists, like news, like ethics, talked about this because... I mean, you can really manipulate people doing this.
Right.
And so it's like, is it right for them to curb the news into your direction?
Well,
Google News
I don't think it's
too.
because they have some, high philosophical idea of trying to keep you informed. I think it's because they want you to click on stuff so they get that revenue.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to pander to the lowest denominator.
Anyway, the thing I love about Yahoo News, though, is that, unlike CNN, other sites like that, is that you'll have a story about something that's completely trivial right next to a story about like a tsunami killing thousands of people or something.
It's true.
Yep.
CNN, you can
Does
always
the same
look.
thing.
They really
At the
don't.
top stories,
At the top,
do.
The top
video
couple
ones.
stories, they tend to have the same tone, not necessarily the same type of story, but if they're negative stories, they usually don't have it next to another one that's like...
You're right with that left bar on the two top stories, but those like 12
No,
boxes,
I'm talking about the
those
top
ones.
ones. I'm talking about the top ones.
You're right
on
about
Yahoo,
that.
this is the top ones that you see. These are the first ones. So let's look at what the first... This is exactly what I'm talking about right here. This is the first thing on Yahoo News top story for me.
Yeah, for you. Let's point that out. This
let's
is
see
what
what
they
this is
think.
for you.
This is what they think I love. Hats at the horse race. Kentucky Derby's wildest hats.
You see, it's funny because I got summer movies you would want to see, which is kind of like a
See,
generic
that's
one.
much more default. Yours.
You look at a lot of hats. What the hell?
You're fucking dumb. You're a dumb person. Here's your dumb fucking news. Read it and hopefully click on it out.
If I said I would have to click on the back.
Exactly.
What is that?
It works.
Instead of it being a story, though, it should literally just be a link to lids.com.
I
and you
know.
just buy hats.
Dude, it works. It works I would click on that.
I know.
Like, is this really an article?
So here's another one. Photos. Super moon lights up the sky because the moon, it was the biggest moon of the year or whatever. The lunar
The way
spectacle.
you're saying that is so funny.
And so it's super moon.
The moon got bigger for a bit.
The biggest... People around the world are treated to awe-inspiring views during the year's biggest lunar spectacle.
I see one right here. I don't know if this is on your page, but there's a poll with 3 options. The question is, what's the best cure for hiccups? A, drink a glass of water. B, hold your breath. C, have someone scare you. 100,000 people have voted on this.
What's the winner? Hold your breath.
I don't know. I'm going to view results.
Hold your breath.
drink a glass of water.
No, holding your breath's better.
I remember, I don't know, I just remember the best article I ever read on there was 10 ways to lose more weight while walking. One of them was, hold weights. The other one was walk faster. None of them were run. There was no run. It was
not
just
walking,
yeah,
dude.
exactly. The 10 ways, like, why don't you just fucking run? What the hell?
Faster.
I clicked on that. I'm like, I was dying. I'm like, are you serious?
Here's a good article
Oh
for
my
you.
God.
A vanity Wikipedia entry will cost you $300. So I guess you could pay a company to make a Wikipedia entry for you, and it'll probably get deleted instantly.
So there's a story here about Sheen saying Sheen's character returns to Men. Well, didn't call it 2.5 Men. They just say Men. An unlikely actor steps into. Oh, hold on. Okay. An unlikely actor steps into Charlie Harper's bowling shirt in a guest starring stunt on 2.5 Men.
Was that Kathy Bates?
I don't know. I don't care either.
I think it was, which
Here's
is
what-
fucking stupid.
Let's see. Signs your partner is a player.
There's a lot of, like, love and relationship
yes.
ones on there. There's
And
tons. And
they
they're
never give good advice.
They're ridiculous.
Signs your partner as a player is right next to Jay-Z designs NBA team's new logo. That's good. And right next to that is 7 shopping habits.
What are some of the
By the way,
signs? Hey, what are
you
some of the
have not-
signs? What are some of the signs that you're
Let's go
lover
to it
as a
and check it
player?
out.
You have not said one real news story yet.
No. That's Yahoo News
You know
right
why?
there, dude.
Because you always click dumb articles. So they're always showing you the dumb thing.
I'm reading an article
No,
right
actually,
now.
the summer movie ones was on there, but I just skipped it.
I'm reading an article right now called "Game Characters Get Real." It's not even an article; it's a bunch of pictures of like Mario drawing like super realistically.
Let's see. Signs your date as a player. If the meetup location they choose for your date makes you feel nervous, trust your instincts.
Wow. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I've seen that.
That's
It's
it.
disgusting.
Anyways, this is great. So I went to CNN to see what their top story was. Sarkozy concedes defeat after presidential runoff. That is a huge story,
Yeah.
and it's not even on your fucking list.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
guess
not
what?
on
More
there.
people,
What the hell?
more people click on the hats in that one.
Though actually it is under the news section. If you go down, it's the top story there. But on these like top banner stories that revolve, it's not even. I don't.
They're
see
not
it in
trying to
there.
put real news on there, so
No.
just forget. Don't even worry about that. They're just trying to get clicks. That's all they're trying to do.
Destroy the EU, and no, they're talking about hats.
They want money.
Amazing homes with spectacular gardens.
Hot bathing suit trends.
See, this is
What's
this
a college degree really worth? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
0. That's what it's worth. 0.
I bet you that's written by a PR firm for colleges.
It is because it says a college grad can expect to earn a $1 million in extra income over their lifetime.
I've heard that stuff
Yeah,
before.
and you also will have a huge amount of debt,
And
so that's
2
bullshit.
after that is how to finish college without debt. You can't. Have your parents pay for it. That's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah,
is.
that's it.
What killed Lenin? Stress didn't help. Okay, before we get stupider,
that's
I
enough
think we're-
Yahooing. But this is the point I'm making, is that when you have a site that no one respects, don't try to write your own content.
But it
Because-
works for them. No, people,
they're just trying to get clicks. It's not-
CNN stole Yahoo News' idea. All these other guys stole their idea of putting dumb fucking stories on. People do click on them. Yahoo News is very, very profitable, very successful.
Yeah.
The other divisions of Yahoo are not. That's the problem with Yahoo. Yahoo
search
News
is
is
shit.
super
Yahoo's
successful.
search
They have
engine,
a lot of
the search
eyeballs.
engine still has a higher market
There's a lot of people
share
that play
than Bing.
fantasy football on Yahoo. That's about
Their,
it. As
their
well.
search engine is
Well,
still...
their search engine is Bing because they're getting paid a huge amount of money for it.
Their market share is still bigger than Bing's.
Do you guys
Yeah,
know anyone who
They
still has?
still have 7%.
Do you guys know anyone who still has a Yahoo Mail account and still uses it?
Yes. My girlfriend
Oh.
is laying right there.
That's
she
amazing.
she has
Wow.
a Yahoo Mail account.
I should tell
her
the
every
story.
time.
I should tell the story of why I canceled my Yahoo Mail account real quick.
Because it's terrible, that's why.
Well, for a long time I didn't switch to
Yes, that is
Gmail,
why.
mainly because, well, no, I had Gmail and Yahoo side by side.
Yeah, I told you to switch to Gmail because
yeah.
Yahoo sucks.
And I was happy with Gmail, but I left Yahoo open because I had so many accounts tied to it and stuff, you know. And I was working for AT&T at the time, who's a partner with Yahoo. And this guy who worked for Yahoo came in with his business laptop, and I saw that he had World of Warcraft on his thing. This is the guy that every time he said
UAT?
something to you, he goes, "Makes sense? Good."
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he said that over and over again. The guy was a total moron, and he ran a completely failed email division. It was a disaster. And I met that guy and I was like, I cannot have this person managing my email or someone like him. They hired him to manage email in some way, and he has WoW on his fucking computer.
His work computer.
And he was such a pompous shit. So I was like, I'm deleting my account, and I did. I went and deleted my account. It does not exist anymore.
Well, he helped you then.
Yeah, he did.
So anyway, that's enough about Yahoo News. But yeah, try to actually write good content about things.
No, I disagree. They're making money.
Write about
This is how
fucking
they
hats.
make
Well,
money.
that's fine. I'm fine with Yahoo because I can go to it and find stuff on it all the time that's hilarious.
There's plenty of other places you can find real news. You don't need to go to Yahoo. for
Well,
that.
that's debatable, but yeah, kind of. You find closer to real news anyway.
Okay, Alex, you got some stuff about movies.
All right,
Let's talk
so
about movies.
in case you guys didn't know, the Avengers came out.
Oh, it did?
And the characters from the Avengers are in other movies, and they combine them into one in a crossover.
Yeah, and
okay.
it broke the record for largest.
$200 million. They basically made the movie budget back.
You know how much
in
money it's
one
made?
weekend.
You know how much money
Just in the
it's
US.
made worldwide already?
Like it's 650, I think.
Yep.
Holy fucking god!
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck
Think
people
it'll
who see
be-
that movie. Fuck you, because you know what? You're ruining the film industry. Fuck international people, stupid Chinese people seeing these crap movies. I heard it's good. I don't care, because if it was bad, it would have made just as much money. It would have made the same amount of money.
That's actually true. You know, I don't have a problem with people watching it if it's good. That has nothing to do with it. But yes, even if it was bad, it still would have done just as well.
Yeah, it would have
because
done
so many
bad.
people-
That second.
Think it'll beat Avatar?
I'd rather
Maybe.
watch this than Avatar.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no. I'm just saying, which one do
Absolutely.
you think it'll beat? Its record.
I
is what I'm
think
saying.
it'll
Simply
beat
because
it.
it's shorter.
I don't know. I don't know if it will.
I don't know. I guess
Maybe.
I guess they said 50% of their tickets that sold were 3D. 50%.
How much percent of Avatar tickets were 3D?
I don't know, but that's a crazy high percentage.
That's a ton more money right there.
The thing I have a feeling about with Avatar, and I think part of the reason it made so much money, and I could be wrong, I'm just speculating, but I could see someone going to see it and not having the opportunity to have seen it in 3D, and then they liked it and went, oh, I've heard the 3D is amazing, and going back to see it in 3D. I could see that happening. So if half these people aren't seeing it in 3D, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them go back and watch it again in 3D.
I think Avatar has way more worldwide appeal. I don't know how Marvel does worldwide, but apparently pretty good.
It does awesome. Yeah, this is going to be a huge movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was going to be big, but I mean,
it's
beat the
getting
record by
really
$30 million.
It's getting good reviews too, so I'm gonna have to go see it.
I don't have a problem with. Well, I do have a problem with comic book characters because I think they're terrible usually. But regardless of that, though, the problem I have is that there's only a couple of the Avengers that are actually interesting characters.
Ant-Man.
That's the one. That's the one. Dude, does anyone actually?
Hawkeye shoots bow and arrows.
That script.
Do people
Iron Man can
actually
fly, and Hawkeye shoots bow and arrow. What are you talking about?
Here's what I want to know: do people now actually like the character Captain America? Does
No
anyone
way.
like
No
him?
way.
Does anyone like that character?
So
Thor is more likable.
yeah, and he's not likable at all. So
remember when I said that there was a comic book bubble? I think this is the top of the bubble because what
No,
the
wait till
fuck are
Spider-Man
they going to
comes
do?
out.
Are they going to make Thor 2
Let's
now?
let's find out what.
Gives a shit.
Let's
they're
find
already
out if they
making
are.
Iron Man 3,
But-
so yes,
Why?
because it'll make money.
No,
They're making a Captain America
it's
too.
Over.
No, it's not.
They did the biggest thing they could
No, I
do.
want to see what happens when they reboot Spider-Man, which comes out this month.
That's different, though. That's not Avengers.
Yeah, I know.
Any of those characters... Everyone says this movie's far better than any of their movies individually. So who gives
It's probably
a shit?
true because none of them are that good except
Well,
Iron Man.
they've
The
also
first
been
Iron Man's
working,
alright.
they've been working on this movie for like half a decade. So
Yeah.
yes, I would think that it would have to be.
So because of that,
Not necessarily better, but it would have to be a
But
spectacle.
how do you sell it, though? How do you sell Thor 2? It's like, hey, remember that movie that you really liked last year? This is a lot less than that.
Well, here's how you sell it. You make new movies
Has
for all the characters,
Thor.
and then you make Avengers too.
yeah, they're gonna make another Avengers.
I know they're making another Avengers, but how are they going to make...
Doesn't
Thor
matter.
2? I
They're
don't
comic book
understand.
characters. You just don't like them as much as other people
Dude,
do.
they're
That's all there
literally
is
saying,
to it.
I'm not going to give you that much money.
All right, we've been arguing this point
Okay,
for
so
5 minutes.
yeah, what else? The whole thing is, they built up all these together to make a big crossover movie. So I want to talk about all the other crossover movies. I found out there
Wow.
actually aren't as many as I thought.
No, there are not that many.
One of them
Not
is
really.
Freddy versus Jason,
That movie's terrible.
which I never saw. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
really
Explain.
It's, I don't really remember what the movie's about. You don't really need to.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Do they actually fight?
Yes, it is a lot like Alien versus Predator.
It's got one of those. It's got one of those endings that really piss me off, though, more than anything
What was
else.
the ending?
Which
What
is
happened?
that. Well, I don't even remember the ending specifically. To be honest with you, what I do remember is that they don't declare a winner. Really.
Yeah, of course.
And I absolutely hate that when they have one of these movies, and they do that in almost all of them.
Because they don't want to the alien won.
Yeah, but the difference is, like, in these Predators movies and stuff, no, that's wrong,
There is a
because the
winner.
Predator movies, the Predator does always win.
No, he lost, actually.
Yeah, they
Which
lost
one?
in one of the...
In the first Alien vs. Predator, because they technically won, but they didn't because one of the aliens implanted an egg
Yeah.
in the Predator, so they won because they killed
Also,
the aliens,
like,
but there's going to now go all over their ship, so that's actually a decent ending, I think, for not declaring a winner, but still each side got something. I don't
Right.
know. So it's better than saying, oh no, they became friends and shook hands or some bullshit. But Alien vs. Predator, that's another one. That movie is dog shit.
Yeah. Do you like jump cuts?
You ever see the second one?
Yes.
Ooh.
Have you seen it? The first 40
haven't
minutes
seen the
are just
second one.
teenage actors or like no-name actors doing bullshit around college and stuff, and nothing happens at all.
The plot of Alien vs.
Oh.
Predator, it should have been called Predator Needs a Friend. Because that's the end of the movie. He becomes friends
yeah.
with the girl, and they...
She's with a scar
they,
on
like,
her face. Ah.
Yeah, it's completely insane.
They battle. You never seen
Predators
it?
hunt
They battle the
and
queen
kill
in
them.
icebergs and stuff. Which
Yes.
she was like an alien shield. A head of an alien is her shield. Or something
Seriously,
like
it literally should have been called Predator Needs a
Dude,
Friend.
Paul Wes Anderson, what's his name?
Yeah.
Oh.
The guy who Paul
Yeah, the
Anderson.
guy does the Resident Evil movies, right?
Yeah. Dude, that guy should never direct a movie again. Fuck him.
Well-
he is the worst.
well,
he
he's
puts
not.
Mila Jovovich in everything.
This is his
He's
life.
married- yeah.
Cool.
He's not. Don't worry, he won't stop.
Don't, because
So-
Resident Evil movies
Go
still
on.
make money.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
hear some more
we're fucking
crossovers.
stupid.
Another ones, which is sort of a crossover, I guess. Sesame Street characters in Muppets movies.
Oh, that's true. Makes
Yeah.
no sense. Makes no sense.
They're puppets. These are puppets.
Yeah, Bob is
How come there's no Fraggle Rock in there,
It's
too?
just like,
Jim
oh,
Henson.
all black
Jim
people
Henson
know
made
each
them,
other,
so
you
they
know?
must all be the same puppets.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I put Avengers, of course, but my favorite is probably Roger Rabbit. It's not really two from the same movie, but their character, Disney and
Roger Rabbit is the perfect
Looney Tunes characters. It's like,
that thing is.
when I first saw
That was like a dream come
when I first
true.
saw Donald Duck and Daffy Duck like fighting each other and playing the piano, I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
I know.
This is
I don't
awesome.
know why it was so awesome. It was though. Like it was. I was
It's
in the
awesome
theater
because
when it came out.
there's no way you would ever see that before that or after that. That's
Yeah.
why it's awesome.
I didn't
And
watch
you know
a
it
lot
when
of
you're watching
movies repeat. You know, a lot of kids will watch a movie over and over. I didn't really do that. That was one of the movies I did.
Really?
That
Nice.
and like Back to the Future. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
yeah. I like
What
to
else?
watch it
What
again.
else?
The other
we got?
ones, there's really no more movies except like Frankenstein and Wolf, like old shit and Dracula and stuff like that. I, mean,
Yeah.
I don't care about that shit. But like, there's TV shows like CSI. All the CSIs come together, and people
Yeah.
from this CSI show up on this CSI.
Yeah.
I need your help to find the semen.
TV shows. There's quite a few. of
The
them.
best one is Urkel
That's what I
taking
put
the
down.
rocket.
Urkel on Full House.
Yeah. Urkel.
No, what happens? He just shows up basically.
No, he crash lands his rocket pack.
It was like in the yard. Or
Yeah,
something? It was
yeah.
in the
He
yard,
crashed.
yeah.
Urkel
He,
wrecked his rocket pack
My-
in the backyard.
My favorite thing about that episode is that the main purpose for him to be in the house, essentially, is to explain to Stephanie that it's okay to wear glasses.
That's right.
Because
Holy
she feels
shit. I forgot.
self-conscious because she has to wear glasses to school. And they pick Steve Urkel
I
to
know.
explain how it's okay to wear glasses.
That's yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
But then they created Stefan, which completely.
Yeah, I know. It
contradicts
doesn't. It's
that.
way better without glasses. I also put Law and Order, which is the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I got a question for the rest of you guys. What movie mashup would you like to
No,
see?
that's what I was going to ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you kind of a crossover, what would you have? Here's mine: Encino Man and Jurassic Park. Instead of finding Brendan Fraser, they find a raptor and they got to take him to school. It's like, yo, what's up, man? Come on, you got to help me out with this fucking bully guy who's always staring out around the screen, nodding at me.
Spits like the Velociraptor spits black goo in their
No,
face.
raptors don't
That's
spit
a
like
spitter.
idiots.
I'll spit or whatever.
I was gonna say with the success of Battleship, I think Milton Bradley needs to make a mashup. So I was gonna say
God.
Guess Who versus Mousetrap.
Mousetrap isn't a real game.
Yes, it is. It's totally a real game. You put it all together and then you get
And you
angry.
watch
Where's the game part?
Hey,
Get halfway.
It's as real of a game as Battleship is a movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's right.
Doesn't
Shit,
Battleship
I
come
don't
out
know.
like next week or something?
Yeah.
Or the week after.
A week or after that, maybe
Fuck
too.
yeah, it's gonna be so good.
Dude, they're just trying to make back their money. They will. They're gonna make a little bit of money, but no.
I'm going to say Wayne's World and Austin Powers together.
God.
And Mike Myers will play every character in both movies. He'll play Garth. No more Dana Carvey.
I think you should do instead. So I Married an Axe Murderer and Austin Powers too, and then have Fat Bastard and the Grandpa talk, and you'd be like, I don't know who's who. They talk the exact fucking. They're the same fucking character. So everyone's fat.
Here's the difference, though. The Grandpa character is actually kind of funny.
Dude,
Sorry, he
Fat
is.
Bastard killed in the theater I
Yes,
was
he
at.
did.
Dude, people love.
Oh yeah.
I remember.
loved him.
Tangent, but I remember after Austin Powers 2 came out, there was this large fat what's the word? A
Fat
sympathizer group for fat people
yeah.
that were talking about how Fat Bastard is one of the most offensive characters created in movie history, and this woman, this really overweight woman, was on TV trying to squeeze out her point between sobbing, just fucking tears rolling down.
What do they think of
her
Nutty
fat face.
Professor then?
Yeah, I know, right? But no one said anything about that. You know why? Because the fat character is supposed to be likable. That's why. Whereas in Austin Powers, it's completely unlikable.
Okay, so I just saw a movie idea: Beverly Hills Cop in 7. So you get the fun cop, but with serial murderer that kills his wife and stuff. But he's just like, "Oh, you kidding me?" It's like,
You know what? I think it'd be better though instead of Beverly Hills Cop, it was Beverly Hills Ninja.
The scene in Beverly Hills Cop where he kills his friend, though, is pretty dark.
Yeah, it is.
That scene's pretty dark.
That movie's kind of weird at times.
It's a pretty good movie.
I hate the title because he's got
He's from Detroit.
he's from Detroit. It says Beverly Hills Cop. I'm like,
Yeah, we talked about that in
Yes.
Movie Time. It's one of the worst named movies ever. It doesn't work at all.
Dude, that would be a good movie, though. 7 with Beverly.
That would be good.
You have to bring over Judge Reinhold, though. You have to have him. Morgan Freeman can be in there, too.
when they
sure.
bring Kevin Spacey to the
I think
court,
I want to
Judge
see a
Reinhold's
crossover that's just every Stephen King movie combined into
God.
one movie. Every
called
bad
The
guy.
Happening. It's called The Happening.
No, that's
M.
no
Night Shyamalan.
movies combined into one
No,
movie.
it's like a math equation. When you add so many variables, they just cancel each other out at the end, and then you're left with nothing.
It's like the Mr. Burns illness with all the Three Stooges.
Three
Oh, I
Stooges
can't fit
effect.
through the door. That's stupid. All right.
So stupid.
Okay, I think we're moving on to the top
Crossover
5.
That's it.
Can you, before we move on, real quick, can you think of any other TV crossovers that were really funny?
I always think of
'Cause, you know,
Rocket Pack one.
I
think there was some,
remember a few
TGIF
more,
stuff.
but I can't think of them. TGIF did do that quite a bit.
Yeah, they liked doing
Saved
it.
by the Bell had one, didn't it?
California Dreams, I think they had on
I think
there.
they might add a crossover with
Dude.
That was a bad show.
California Dreams. If you haven't seen that show, watch that fucking show, because it is
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, it's Saved by the Bell with everything done worse. Every single thing.
Did they ever
And
have
singing.
Did they ever have like a Simpsons Futurama crossover or anything like that?
No, they have little
animated
hints.
shows.
Sometimes, like you'll see, there's one where I think he
find
finds
a relic,
he
right?
finds a Bart Simpson doll, when he's in, but there's no real crossover though.
Well, watching American Dad's like watching a crossover because it's the same show as Family Guy.
And Cleveland Show.
Cleveland show.
Cleveland show, yeah.
They're all the same show,
Yeah. Bear.
and none of them are
Bear.
funny.
Okay, let's do some top fives. This is a bonus one, I guess Mike put in here. Comedy series starring Bill Bellamy.
Bill
Bellamy eyeing 100 episode order fall launch. So, okay, so to give a little background, Tyler Perry sold House of Pain as a 100 episode order. But he had made a lot of money, and people wanted his shit.
And that's pretty much unheard of in the first place,
Yeah.
to sell that many episodes.
And
at once.
people thought it was fucking crazy when he did it.
Yeah, and then
when
it worked.
TBS took that risk, they were like, "Holy shit, they're nuts." And unfortunately, it worked out great for both parties.
Maybe it was
which
like a
is
Tyler Perry.
astonishing.
Maybe it was like some kind of Costco situation where if they buy in bulk, they get a better deal.
I think,
But then
that's
you
kind
have
of
the problem
case.
wondering what you're going to do with 530,000 boxes of ramen. I mean, you got to put it someplace.
So,
What are we
anyways,
gonna do with all these House of Pain episodes?
so first off, there's an inherently racist thing about this whole deal because they were like, "Well, there's nothing for black people to watch. Just give them some piece of shit."
And you know why?
That's why they would
it's
never do it.
completely true, though.
It kind of is, yeah.
There are no good shows for black people to watch. Sorry.
No.
Unless you want to watch fucking Friends, a bunch of white people doing white things, but there's no.
What about Living Single?
Yeah, look at all the black people. I mean, I'm not saying like one-on-one.
Yeah,
fucking
they're bad.
Monisha.
Oh, Moesha was one of the worst. Yeah,
dude, there's so many bad shows. And,
Sister.
And I feel bad for him because imagine if it were the opposite and all the shows were black. Like I love watching Dave Chappelle and stuff like that. But
they used to have a lot of good ones.
I mean, look at Arrested Development. That's a white show. It's an amazing show, but it's white as fuck.
But they used to have shows like I said, Sister, and what the fuck is the Urkel show called? I can never remember what it's called. Family Matters or Fresh Prince, but
Fresh Prince actually not that bad.
Yeah, Fresh Prince is far better than the other ones. But anyways, so they're like, I don't think this would work for a white show doing this risky of an order.
Yeah.
They know they can do it. But anyways, so Bill Bellamy, he's not a big star, but he was starred in movies and stuff. He's not like the worst star to put a show behind.
He could handle a show, yeah.
He's doing a show called Mr. Box Office.
Bad name.
Yeah, terrible. And this is what makes it fascinating. They're doing a pilot, but it's under the condition that if they like the pilot, they have to order 104 episodes. Now that's
what? No, we don't like it. Oh.
No. Oh, well, if they go, we like it, but we want to do 20 episodes. No, we won't make it unless it's 100 episodes.
Wow.
So this is a Debmar Mercury.
Is Tyler
production.
Perry involved in this?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So there's Bill Bellamy's
so.
the pull for a 100 episode order, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, he's not that.
No.
No way.
But here's the best part. This is the astonishing part. They plan to shoot these in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's
that means though. You have to break that down.
A week.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
comedy.
That is literally one episode per week for 2 years straight. There's gonna be. I guess that's how many seasons is that supposed to be? I don't even know what you'd call that.
I don't know.
Because literally, under any normal circumstance, that would be like 8 seasons. But
it's like Aqua Teen episodes that are 15 minutes or what? What's going on here?
It's just the show. It's like 30-minute episodes.
It's kind of amazing.
I gotta say, they got some moxie for that, though. I can't even believe you would even do that.
It's literally like you're yelling at the people maybe purchasing it. Hey, we are going to write a good show. This is just something you put on the screen. It will be inoffensive.
Same thing over and over. Like
here's filler between ads. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh man. It's
okay.
It's gonna be horrible.
Number 5, Yahoo CEO Scott Thompson.
That was number 5. This is number 4, right?
No, that was
bonus. Honorable mention.
Yahoo CEO Scott Thompson caught padding his resume.
So speaking of Yahoo,
yeah, still talking about Yahoo here.
So Scott Thompson, who's the CEO of Yahoo, he
that's an exclamation point at the end. So
Yahoo.
Think he puts that on his resume? Exclamation point.
Well, it was more
Probably
like
not.
Yahoo.
Yeah,
I hate those fucking.
So
they're gone now.
This is great. So an activist shareholder from Third Point, because their shareholders have not been happy since the whole Microsoft thing.
Really?
Yeah, shockingly.
I'm surprised.
When the board did not take that incredible offer that would have ruined Microsoft. So shareholders don't get along with the CEO. The old CEO, Carol Bartz, she wasn't the one who nixed the deal. She was one in after there.
Yes.
She had a very contentious relationship with shareholders. Scott Thompson has a similar relationship. The shareholders decided to do a background check on Scott Thompson, and they looked at his resume. And it says that he has a degree in accounting and computer science from Stonehill College. He has a bachelor's, by the way. That's all. He's the CEO of Yahoo with just a bachelor's degree.
That's fine.
I'm fine with that.
That doesn't bother me at all.
But how? I just don't. I don't care. I would never get that
He
job.
started as a janitor.
He must know
and worked his
people.
way up.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Must get good head.
So
he hasn't learned anything.
Here's the great thing. They found out that Stonehill College doesn't have a computer science program. They never have.
So he doesn't have a degree.
He has an accounting degree.
Yeah, he
he's
still has a
running
degree,
Yahoo.
but he added another degree on there that just didn't even exist. Why wouldn't you do the littlest bit of research and just see that the degree you're faking to have?
Well, there's no degree for CEO, so it's like
He got his first job with eBay this way, and his first job with PayPal and his job with eBay this way.
But what does that tell you, though? What does that tell you?
They don't even look it up.
Yeah, exactly. What does this tell you in reality? It doesn't tell you this guy's an asshole. What it actually tells you is just lie on your resume. Just go ahead and fucking lie on it. Because apparently nothing will happen to you.
No,
you know what?
he's a CEO.
Yeah, he's already the CEO. What are they going to do to him? They might oust him, but shit, he's already made his money.
It's just so funny, though. These people are looking at their Facebooks and LinkedIn's and stuff, but then they don't look up. Well, maybe we should call and see if the degree's
Oh, yeah, they don't
valid.
do that now.
No, they don't.
Oh, he has this. Okay.
It would take 5 seconds.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Okay.
That's company's doomed.
Number 4, teens run over while sunbathing in road.
So I didn't know. I
didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this at all, and stop yepping me and listen. I heard you guys say this, and I asked about it, and they were like, "Let's just wait," because I really want to hear what this could possibly entail.
So, 2 teenage girls, both 13 years old, were sunbathing in the middle of a rural road in Beaufort County, Pennsylvania. They fell asleep in the middle of the road, got hit by a car, and died.
Both of them? It's like, oh, what was that bump? Oh, shit, there's another one.
The car driver, who also happens to be Samantha's cousin, was questioned by police. But the incident has been ruled a tragic accident.
One of them.
Now,
was
I don't want to
cousin?
downplay the fact that 2 girls died, but who the fuck sunbathes in a road and falls asleep?
Who the fuck runs over people in a road?
Yeah, but this is
Would you be Would you notice though? I mean,
Yes.
2 people in the
on a windy road. And
Yes.
it's Beaver County, so it's.
I would notice after I ran over a human being.
Well, I would notice. Yeah, I would notice that. I'm saying it would be easy to run over them though.
I don't know how you
think.
wouldn't see them before, even if it was a windy road. Like, how fast were you going?
Well, she was probably texting.
They were
Probably.
asleep. If they were texting, they would have got up and say, "Oh, there's a car here."
No,
they
the
took
driver.
Oh, was the cousin a woman or a man?
It didn't say.
It doesn't matter.
So, what I don't get is why would you be sunbathing in the road though? Why wouldn't you just not be in the road? I don't understand this.
Shut up.
Everyone is stupid in this. Everyone's stupid.
Every single person's dumb. Yeah.
Except the person who sat behind the other one in the road. Unless they both laid in the middle and they both go run over at the same time.
How'd they both get hit? But
I think
they must have been side by side.
Yeah, they had to be side by side. It's like facing. If they did that, there's no way you can't see them then.
This is complete.
There's no
That's
way.
the most insane story because I just don't understand the entire context of it. Like, who went? Where are we going to sunbathe? I don't know. Well, we could do
really
it
good
here.
sunlight
There's
in the
no,
road.
there's no sun out on the side of the road. Why don't we just do it in the road?
What song do you think he was listening to when he ran him over?
Steal my sunshine. Steal my sunshine.
We're going to be moving on here.
I'm walking on, driving on sun.
One thing I want to say though, this proves my theory again that 4-year-olds can survive longer than a 13-year-old can, because 13-year-olds actively die. They get themselves killed.
They do stupid things.
Yeah, sleeping in roads.
That's the most confusing.
Anyway, number 3, Congress wants broken laser to zap North Korea's broken missile. So, if you haven't heard, North Korea had a ICBM launch about a week ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And their missile exploded over the ocean.
Didn't work
It
at
didn't
all.
work. But I guess some House Republicans decide that this is scary, and they want to bring back a program that was done during the 90s to put a laser on a 747 to shoot missiles out of the sky.
That program's still going.
Well, no, it got axed actually.
Is that Star Wars or is that a different?
No, it's a different thing. Basically, the Air Force decided that it was going to try to put a huge chemical laser in a 747 and use it to shoot missiles out of the sky. And it didn't work at all.
No.
And so the program got axed.
Does this 747 have to go lift off, or is it just flying around at all times?
Yeah, just flying around.
So these are Republicans in Congress.
Can't they do that from the
want-
ground?
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's other already in place
exactly.
missile systems to just have our missiles blow up their missiles.
So
So
what you're
this is
saying-
a total lobbyist.
What you're
poll.
saying is that Republican Congress people are trying to resuscitate this.
No,
No, he's
Old
uninformed,
program,
is what it is. Doesn't know.
Okay, I try to say this. I say it all the time about how it's not a party thing. It's just that
Well, it's a lobbyist
it's
thing
a
'cause Boeing wants
bipartisan.
money.
But are they just getting dumber and I don't understand. How
No,
would this?
This is not them being dumb. They want money.
Yeah, this is Boeing.
Someone's giving
this
them
is
money.
the aerospace industry saying, "Hey, give us more."
Stupid though. They have
Yeah, but why
fucking
don't they
vehicles
use the
that drive
money for
around with the
something
fucking
that's-
laser on the back of the vehicle. You don't need to
That's-
fly around.
I'm
Well,
fine with
the fact
giving
is-
aerospace more money if it's for something,
Yeah.
Well,
not for that.
my dad actually works in this space, missile defense, and it is the biggest waste of money ever. It does not work.
Have you asked him about this?
Yeah, he not this, but I've asked him about.
Well, he
his
knows it
program.
doesn't work.
He
Yeah,
knows. He knows it's a fucking waste of money. It's a total waste of money. It's amazing. They can hit a fucking missile with another missile out of the sky, like 80% of the time.
More than
That's
that.
Well, they can shoot more than one missile, and there you go.
Yeah. So, but that's with planned launches. So if it's not planned, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the airplane is like it needs to be in the sky.
Exactly.
Shoot shit down. So
kind of a waste to just run it, all the time.
Well, just make a fucking
Also-
satellite then. Shit.
Why don't we just
Gives a shit.
Why don't we just
Who
build?
gives a shit?
You know what we should do? We should give more civil engineers money, and we'll just build giant domes around all of our cities, and then they can't blow them up.
Oh, that's cool.
That's an effective
I know what we
use.
could do.
Just put it on
We could
Cleveland
just-
so they can't get out.
We could just talk to North Korea.
Or we could just ignore them,
Yeah, or we could just
like
do
we've
that.
been doing for decades, because
Yeah.
they're crazy.
Yeah,
Okay, moving on. Orange Lady coverage.
yeah. Just no, that's
Oh,
it.
is this tan lady?
This is tanning.
I thought when I first saw a picture of her, it was Photoshop and it was fake.
So if you don't know the story behind this, let's go into it very briefly. Basically, a woman brought her child into a tanning salon, and the debate is whether she actually brought her child in tanning with her or whether she left the child to sit in the lobby while she tanned. She maintains, of course, that she didn't let the child tan
Because you need to be 14, I think.
there's an age limit, yeah. And not only that, I mean, it's considered to be insane anyway to let your child who's too young be in a tanning booth, and plus it's bad for you. I mean,
vain.
But yeah, so this is caused a big stir, and of course her name in the media is now Tanning Mom, which is a terrible.
This is the only story. You think it's only a story because what she looks like?
Yes.
Yes, that's why. This woman
pretty much
is
brown.
hideous because
she looks ridiculous.
She's tanned so much that she looks like it looks like you left an old fruit in a tanning booth for 2 years, and it just started to rot up and shrivel.
Her skin color does not match what you would.
Her skin color it doesn't match reality. It doesn't match
It's
Earth.
kind of weird.
But that's the thing about this is that because this woman looks weird,
combined with little girl,
yeah, they've turned this into a controversy. Go ahead and.
Oh yeah, so everyone, what I know is I wish people would read things about the Jobs Act and all these horrible things happening in this nation, but instead people get outraged about this shit, and all over Facebook people were like, this mom is horrible, and I'm like, you're not a good mother. Why the fuck are you saying something? And some of them even tan.
Well, beyond
that, what the fuck are you talking about?
Beyond that, there was the statistic you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, so I read this on Monday. I never saw this reposted by a single major publication. This was in the USA
I never
Today.
saw it reposted on Facebook or anything. I saw a billion things about that tanning shit.
Yeah, I never saw this anywhere. This is on USA Today, a very mainstream paper, usually shitty, but this was actually an interesting story. Number of painkiller-addicted newborns triples in 10 years. It's 3.4 out of every 1,000 infants born in a hospital in 2009.
Which is literally one
for every 294.
Yeah, so basically 1 in 300 kids have a parent that's so addicted to painkillers that the kid actually comes out of the womb addicted to painkillers.
Yeah.
And they have to use methadone.
No one got mad about that.
Leaving your kid in the tanning salon is way worse.
Apparently,
what are you talking about?
Letting your kid tan with you is
You
worse.
likely know someone who fucking has their kid addicted to painkillers because they fucking took them all the time. And yet you're bitching about this stupid fucking mom. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's not important.
And so that's why we wanted to put this on there. It is not about Tanning Mom. It is about the coverage surrounding her. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Local news.
Weird-looking people.
Yeah. Number 1. This one is horrifying. Daniel Chan, University of California student, left in a holding cell for 4 days, files a $20 million claim against the DEA.
Now, some people say this is a tragedy. I think it's like winning a lottery ticket. Would you stay in a holding cell for 4 days?
Well, let's give you a background
reputation
here.
ruined.
So the 23-year-old went to a friend's house on 420 to get high. He slept over that night.
College.
Yeah. He slept over that night. Next day, the DEA busted in his door and did a drug raid, and him
waste of money.
Him along with a bunch of other people were taken into custody, and I guess the raid got 18,000 ecstasy pills, among other things. But anyway,
that's why they got
9
raided.
people, including Sean, were taken into custody. So he was put in this holding cell. He wasn't charged, he wasn't arrested, but he was put in a holding cell until they figured out what to do with him. But they forgot about him.
Yep.
So he spent 4 days in there.
Yep.
Did he get any water or anything?
No
food or water.
No food or water. This is just a
They
holding
literally
cell.
forgot he was in there.
Yeah.
He was just... He
didn't die?
No,
but he
lived.
suffered from almost kidney failure. He went to the hospital for dehydration.
He had to
cramps,
drink
and
his own
whatnot.
piss.
Yeah. Also, I guess he found methamphetamine in the cell and took that because he thought it was food or something.
So
and then he got
funny that
Yeah, why was there meth in his cell? I never got that.
I don't know.
He found it in a baggie.
Are fucking like Abbott and Costello goofballs or something like what the fuck? It's like, oh, drugs, man. Like
It
what
feels
is
like
he
they were
doing?
playing a prank on him.
I
You know,
know.
like it's insane.
But anyway, after 4 days, they found him and he was hallucinating and shit. So they took him to the hospital, and now he's suing them for $20 million.
And then they charged him for using methamphetamine.
No, they didn't. They're not charging him for that.
You know what?
Although that would be
That'd be
coup de
great.
grace right there. So
If he doesn't win this,
they're going to
which
settle.
they're going to settle,
Hey,
but
Oh, they're gonna sell.
You know-
sure.
You know, the guy who was tortured from Canada for 2 years, held in a cell, was found to be completely innocent and let go from the U.S. government. He was completely absolved. They thought he was a terrorist. He tried to sue, and the U.S. government said, "You have no right to sue." They took away his right to sue.
yeah.
And even though the Canadian government's like, "You can't do this," they're just like, "Fuck you," and they just didn't do anything.
Where was this at?
This is California.
So they could do the same thing.
They might try it. He'll get his money. Don't worry. But
Yeah,
and
he's not an enemy combatant. So
in
he can't
any
pull that shit.
in any case, on some level, I do kind of agree. Like he basically went through hell, but now his payday's coming, and he's going to be set for life, pretty much. But at the same time,
no.
during the time that it's happening, no.
Oh, it would be horrible.
4 days.
I mean,
it's
he
going
thought
to
he was.
permanently traumatize
He
him.
thought he was
probably.
going to die.
Yeah, it'll
which,
permanently traumatize
I mean,
him.
honestly, there was a good chance he could have died. If it was a couple more days, he probably would have.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd say I'm surprised. I mean, I was shocked that he lived 4 days without water.
Well, he didn't. Like I said, he drank his own pee.
Yeah, but that kills you pretty quick.
Drank. Well, yeah, he was having kidney failure, so.
Anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast again. If you want to send us anything, podcast at tipping40s.com, or you can call us at 218-666-8407. It's episode 49. Thanks for listening.
Check out them crazy hats.
Go watch Avengers.
Diggity, diggity dog. Breaking. 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 Diggity, diggity.